Hi, it's Amanda from the Queen of Lean, and today I'm going to show you how to effectively do a box squat. I have our coach Cara here with us, and she's going to help us demonstrate this for you. So to do a box squat, this is an amazing exercise for strengthening through your glutes. It's also a different variation, so if you're a person that struggles with flexibility, this could be a great variation for you because you don't have to go into a full range of the squat. The only limiting factor is you would want to make sure that you've got enough range of movement through the inside of your legs or through your adductors. So I'll show you how we're going to set up this exercise. So you'll need a squat rack and a box. The box should be just below a 90-degree height for you. And then depending on strengths, if you find that you do drop at the bottom of the squat, you can put a weight plate there just so that you elevate the position. So whenever you're working with a squat rack, you always want to make sure that the bar, well, when you're doing a squat variation, that the bar is around sternum height or height about here. So we've lined that up with Cara, and she's going to grab onto the bar. Make sure you position your hands when you're on this side of the bar, and you make sure that they're nice and even. And she's going to get in as close as she can, so you don't want to go out too wide with your grip. Then she's going to come underneath the bar, and the bar is going to set up just a little bit lower across the back of your shoulders. So she has the bar set, just across the back of her deltoids here. So before she unracks the bar, something that you really want to focus on is trying to pull the bar apart. So what that does is it activates all the muscles in her upper back, and it sets up a really strong plate for her to set the bar on. So once she's done that, she's pulled out, her feet are directly underneath the bar, and all she's going to do is straighten out her knees to stand up and to unrack the bar. So just make sure when you're unracking the bar that you don't go into a split stance and that you're directly underneath the bar, just to protect through your lower back. One thing that I should also add is before you unrack the bar, you want to engage through your core as well. So she's going to come back, set up just in front of that box. She's going to go for quite a wide stance. For efficiency, we could have had this box a little bit closer, but for now we'll leave it in this position. So I'll just move that a little bit. So then from here, what she's going to do is engage through her abs, and I'm going to talk you through this in more detail once she's done the squat. So she's going to engage through her abs and then go into a hip break position. So hips go right back, knees out nice and hard. She's going to grab a seat, rock back into the box squat, and then push up through her heels and come up nice and strong. So the things that you're looking for in this is that she keeps a straight shin line. So if she goes back into that squat again, you want to keep this knee and shin line really, really straight, and then she pops up using her glutes. So with this as well, you won't be able to see from this angle, but she really has to drive her knees out hard to be able to maintain that position. So if we go down into that squat again, good, knees out hard, good, rock back into it, and then push up strong and explode up, good. And then when she comes into the rack, if she just walks forward, and then feet are side by side, and then puts the rack down in position. So that you can see this squat from a different angle, I'm gonna get Cara to grab a seat. So just facing out with your knees out wide. So from this angle, go a little bit wider with your stance. That's it. If she goes back into the box squat, hips go back. One thing that you're really looking for, and she does really well, is that her knees are out strong, and you want to maintain tightness at that bottom position. So if she goes down into that bottom position and I push her knees or try to push her knees in, she's keeping that tightness and she's really using her glutes. So one other thing, if we're looking at core activation, so whether you are bracing through your core or doing a draw-in motion, when you're using the bar and when you're using any type of weights, you want to use what's known as a brace. So if you've done any type of Pilates or any type of rehab core work, basically it is drawing in through your belly button and lifting up through your pelvic floor to firstly get the activation of the internal muscles, and then you want to push out and brace so the external muscles are also switched on. So an analogy that I like to use is if you were going to push a car, or you push something really, really heavy and you can feel that your outer abs will switch on and activate. That's the type of positioning that you want to set up when you're doing your squats and when you're doing any sort of heavy lifting. So in going back to where she would have done that, just before she goes down into a squat, she'll activate through her core, take a deep breath in and brace. She holds her breath as she goes the entire way down into the squat. She continues to hold her breath, comes up to the top, and then resets her core and breathes. So a lot of the time we've been taught to breathe out on exertion, but with a squat, if you're breathing out when you're coming up, it's actually a weaker position. So you want to make sure that you're keeping your core really, really tight at that position. So that is the box squat, an amazing exercise for strengthening through your glutes. As you can see, it's not going as low as a traditional squat, so it's great if you've got limited range of movement in some areas, but really good for also working through your legs, and a great fat burning exercise. So I hope you found this video very helpful, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.